My name is Chris Keene. I live in San Francisco. My firm is me. I practice with my partner, Mike Beam, who's from Michigan. We focus on child abuse reporting cases, child abuse cases, and child injury cases. This now young man who's 25, this story starts when he was about 14. He came from an extremely challenging family background. His mother was a single mom who struggled with several issues. Great kid, super resilient, and because he's a kid, stumbled into a situation with several of his buddies, kind of like the movie Sandlot, where they were throwing stuff at a vacant building, and happened to be that a guy in the neighborhood who was a sheriff in the county caught him doing it, walking his dog, told the boys, if you don't fix the damage, I'm going to write you a ticket. That was the first introduction to him personally. And so from that point forward, after he fixed the damage on the building, this off-duty sheriff befriended him. He started playing video games with the kid. And then at one point in time, the youngster in the mail found what he thought was a suspicious envelope. He opened it up and there appeared to be methamphetamine in there. After he discovered the methamphetamine that his mom had received in the U.S. mail, after he had turned the meth over to the sheriff, and the sheriff had tested it, he ran away. When the sheriff should have reported the neglect of the mother to CPS, he didn't. With all that up in the air, the boy moved into the house with the deputy. From that point forward, the deputy began to sexually abuse him. Not just once, not just twice, not 100 times, but more than 1,000 times. Some of the initial obstacles on the case, on any case like this, is you have to find the legal duty that is owed by government employees in the context of the Child Abuse and Neglect Reporting Act to, number one, get around immunity situations, and number two, to find the pathway from what happened to where it ended up. Our claim was that he failed to make a mandated report as a mandated reporter at times before he sexually assaulted the boy, and that the reports were not about anything he did to the boy, but about the neglect that the mother had demonstrated toward the boy. And that had those been made, CPS would have been involved, would have directed the boy to, any number of things that get done with CPS. It's not straight to foster care, but that if that report had been made, then all of this abuse would have been prevented. He never would have moved in with the deputy, and so on. The defense was that he had a Fifth Amendment right not to make any report at all, and that missed the point of the claim, which was that we were saying he should have reported before he did anything to commit a crime. And in addition to that, there were several other deputies and a welfare fraud investigator as well, who were aware of this boy living with the deputy. This youngster was so damaged that he became what's called agoraphobic, and that he literally doesn't go outside. He had not been outside prior to his deposition. He had not been outside for about 2 years, from the time of his deposition through the time of trial. He did not go outside. So, he had actual damaging problems that needed compensation to help him navigate life. I've worked with DK Global on a number of cases, including child abuse cases. It was important to show the connection between the abuse and the damage in a way that's visual. I wanted to explain to them using the Erickson development model of when this happened to him, over what period of time, and then compare it to the different points in time that people's identity develops. With DK, we're able to morph the exhibit to look like the young boy back in that point in time. And I actually think this was the most significant piece of visual evidence that we had from a demonstrative standpoint. They returned a verdict for the boy, who's now a young man, for $33 million. If you think about the life of that boy, there haven't been that many days in the course of his life that he could say are great, right? I'd like to think that when the jury came back with that verdict, that was a great day.